YouTube? Welcome back to the channel with me, Donny Mayhem. I'm back on Borderlands 3, of course. First of all, hope you're all safe and well. This is a new build video that I just came across the other day, basically just running a flak. As you know, I'm normally an Amara kind of guy, and as you probably know before, I did do a flak video based around the ion cannon a couple of months back, but since that got nerfed, it was a bit outdated. And it wasn't really a great complete build, but since the new DLC dropped, I've really gotten back into flak. I picked my level 50 character up, tracked him all the way to level 57, and basically changed things up. So I used to run the fadeaway action skill, and now I run the rack action skill where you throw rack out, and it's really cool. And I've found that it's so OP that you're flinging it out so much. The damage you do, combined with a certain shotgun called the LOB, which also used to be terrible, and then Gearbox buffed it, and now it's insane with the right build. Hence the name LOBSTER. Bit of a play on words there. If you know, you know. You don't, you don't. It's basically just a classic rock song called Rock Lobster. Anyways, that's enough of that. But yeah, it's a really cool build. Let's dive straight into it and let me show you what it's all about. Okay, dude, so first and foremost, let's just go through the gear, because there's only a couple of pieces which I feel that are absolutely necessity for this build, and one's the Rack Pack class mod, which really kind of inspired this build. Many of you know it. It's not the easiest of class mods to get. It used to be, like I say, a couple of weeks ago, we had an event on here where your trials bosses, they dropped their loot pretty much 100% of the time, and now that's not the case. That's gone off, so you just want to be farming the Trial of Cunning on Mayhem 4 mode and hope that the Tink of Cunning at the end drops this for you. It's not too hard to do with the right build, but yeah, you just got to keep farming that for this. When your rack hits an enemy, it splits into 2 more rack that seeks out more enemies, which is insane. Combine that with something, any weapon, especially the LOB, where enemies are damaged by a rack attack, they take 100% more damage, so you could be damaging so many enemies at once with your rack, and you're basically just going to be flinging damage everywhere. It's really cool. I got 35% shotgun damage on that, which was really good. I have been farming to try and get a couple of more variations, but as I said, it's not the easiest of thing to drop. It's quite a rare drop, to be honest. But the other one, obviously in the name LOBSTER, it's just the LOB SHOTGUN, which obviously used to be an awful joke of a shotgun, and Gearbox decided to buff this along with others, and now it's absolutely insane. Fires gigantic big balls out, and if you get a fire rate buff which you can do with flak, which I'll go through in a minute, it really is effective. It's so easy to get critical hits with this thing. It is massively OP in my opinion, one of the best shotguns out there now, especially with this build anyways. The rest are just entirely your choice. The companions are really good pistol, and I've obviously got the enemies damaged by a rack anointment on it. As long as you've got pretty decent weapons that have got good anointeds on, then the other 3 slots are pretty much your own choice, but the LOB is the absolute must-have weapon in this. Mine's only level 54, been hoping for a level 57 one, but this is still cutting the mustard, so to speak. Shield and grenades. Now these are going to go as soon as I actually get something decent, but I've been trying to find a shield and a grenade that drops. You want the anointed, where it grants you an extra rack attack, so you can fling out more, because obviously then the more rack you can throw out, the more damage you can do combining with these. I'd probably recommend, as I do with most, the Transformer, purely because it's just an insane shield, but getting one of them to drop with the right anointment can be very hard, especially on console, really. You just have to just keep farming for that RNG, basically, and it goes with the artifact as well. Entirely really your choice. I'm just trying this out because it's part of the new DLC. So there's the gear ready. Rack Pack and the LOB are the main things for this. Let's quickly flip over to the skill trees. So the main skill tree, obviously your hunter, is one where all your damage is coming from. So I flipped 3 into each of the hunter skill ones, 3 in leave no trace, which is an absolute must for this, because every time you score a critical hit, you can add one weapon, there's a chance for 1 ammo to be added to your magazine, and it just really is effective. You can end up firing so many rounds with that shotgun. I put 3 out of 3 into the head count, 4 out of 5 into Two Fang, and 3 out of 3 into big game, just to buff them hunter skills. Max out Grim Harvest for more damage, and obviously more critical hit damage on any part of the enemies for the Megavore skill. And onto the next skill tree, which I also max out now. This skill tree is all about regenerating health, which is also really important for this build. So obviously 5 out of 5 in your maximum health regen, hunter skill on 5 out of 5 for that extra gun damage. And I just put 3 into the fire rate one, because you don't need to needlessly spend skill points in this, because you want to have enough to max out this tree here. Your aim is just to get down to the bottom. So obviously having your pet revive you is a good perk, and the constantly regenerating health one is good too. So the only one in this that's not about health regen or reviving is the bottom tree, bottom of the tree, which is a power inside. Now this is an absolutely insane perk, really, because every time you fling out your rack, which you're going to be doing a lot, this basically just gives you 25% damage buff, and if you're at full health, which a lot of the time you will be, it's going to go up to 50% in a duration of 15 seconds. It's absolutely brilliant perk, is that. So I went all the way down to the bottom there, and in the left skill tree all the way to the bottom too. So in terms of the augments, I obviously just send forward an additional rack, which is a must for this build, and get an additional charge with the rack accelerate one, and it has an increased cooldown rate as well. So there's basically just the bread and butter of the skill trees, and let me just briefly go over it again, just so you can see what weapons I'm running. I mean, you can run any sort of one really for the most part, but the LOB is the absolute must-have for this, as well as the Rat Pack class mod. So that's the gear anyways. But yeah, there's nothing too complex about the build. I just find it really, really fun. Honestly, I really hope you guys try it. I'm sure there's a lot of you out there that are already running some sort of a similar build. And for the record, I just want to say this isn't the best build in the game. It's not even complete yet. But I'm telling you, it's the most fun I've had on Borderlands 3 in a long time with this rack build. It really is fun. And what I'm going to do at the end of this video, well, after I shut up anyway, I'm going to leave a clip of me running the Trial of Cunning on Mayhem 4 mode. Pretty much at the start to the finish, just so you can see it in action. Basically, I pretty much use the LOB for most part of that. This build is brilliant for running big areas where there are a lot of ads and badasses, things like that. As you know, that's more my style. I can't wait to try this going through the raid as well. I think it would be really effective. But there we have it anyways. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, dudes, don't forget to drop your boy a like and hit that subscribe button. Enjoy the gameplay at the end, and I will catch you guys next time.
the spirit.